This is the meeting of the Paris City Council. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We will start with an invocation by Pastor Bob Bush, followed by Pledge of Allegiance with Ms. Lancaster. If I can ask everyone to please stand.
Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this council. We thank you for the citizens who will take their time to be here. And Lord, particularly in this very, very hot season, we pray a special prayer for all those who work for our city who are out in this heat, can never come in. They're working on the streets, they're working on the plumbing, working on law and fire enforcement and maintenance. And it heats up in here sometime too, Lord, but nothing like out there. And we just pray for civility in all things, and we'll give you the honor and praise in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item number 4. Item number 4 is Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meeting Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the council, city council members, or employees, as well as individual personnel appeals are not appropriate for the Citizens Forum. The Citizens Forum is now open. If you want to speak, please come forward to the podium, write your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Chris Dukes. I am the former CEO of Paris Regional Medical Center, and I have 32 years of experience in healthcare administration. In that time period, I have had the opportunity to deal with multiple healthcare regulations and laws, state, federal, and local. I think that background prepares me to be able to read, understand, and deal with things like the Texas Historical Plan and all of the federal and state regulations pertaining to historic renovation and preservation. I have applied for one of the positions on the Historical Commission, and I would ask your support in placing me on that commission. One thing I do want to do is thank the council for your previous actions for the matching funds to remove the high power voltage lines from the buildings over on First Street. That has been done and work has started on some of those buildings and that needs to be done. So again, I just want to ask for your support. An appointment to the Historical Commission. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stay for the entire meeting because I have out-of-town guests that I need to get back to, but thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Billy Bell. I live at 2054 Cleveland. One thing I'd like to bring up tonight is give Peter something to do, try to get another cable television company in here. The one we've got just raises the rates and raises them, never informs anybody, and monopolies aren't fair to begin with. Number 2, I need to talk to somebody see about getting 2 things on the agenda. Some problems that I've seen with the city, and get them where they can be in an open discussion, if at all possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Good evening. My name is Janice Price. I live at
Ms. Price,
1230.
bring the mic a little closer to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, come a little forward too.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. My name is Janice Price. I live at 1230 Shallow Street, Paris, Texas. I'm here to complain about the grass. We hadn't been cut on the west side. And last time I was here, I was complaining about the hill on 7th Northwest in West Cameron. I want to thank y'all. Y'all did get that taken care of, and I thank the council for getting that taken care of. But here we do have another problem, because right there where 13th and Shallow and others areas over there, when you pull out, you can't pull out into the intersection for high grass. It's very dangerous. You never can see a car come in and thing. We got a lot of grass. It's grown over there in that area over there on West Long, West Garrett, all those areas over there. I know it's a lot of homes they not there anymore, but still, that's property over there that need to be cut. And I would ask the city to consider go over there looking at that area over there. And not on our area, some over there in the East Prairies too. It need to be cut and taken care of. I thank y'all for hearing my comment.
Thank you, Ms. Price.
Can you write that this time before the
My name is James Price of 1230 Shiloh. Sister Rose won't do speaking for me, basically. You know how this works. I had a stroke. Basically, I want to know why it is I'm couldn't even propose you when you get back to me. 4 you did 3, you haven't even talked to me yet about the proposal. I'm not one of money for myself, I want money for the city of Paris. The street not city up. Housing area right now has been raised up, but it's so low that it turned brown.
Good evening, I'm Sister Rose Lindsay, and I live at 947 Dixon Avenue, and I'm in the process of transferring to 140 10th Northeast. And where I live on Dixon and 10th Northwest, there has been a home behind me that has been abandoned, and the grass has grown up. I cannot even allow my 6- and 7-year-old children to play in the yard unless I'm out there with them for fear that someone is posted up in there. There has been several that have posted up in that home. It hasn't been touched. I don't know who it belongs to, but it needs to come down or something needs to be done. Again, the home that I'm getting ready to move into on Northeast 10th Street is a lot. I did find out that it belongs to the city, and fortunately, when I knew someone that was staying there, I was able to get someone to go and clean the lot up and take care of it. But I'm getting ready to move in, and it's grown up again. The people in the neighborhood are keeping their houses like they should. The lot belongs to the city. It's not being taken care of. So that's all the way from 10th Northeast all the way to 10th Northwest, and then of course there are many other trouble areas. And again, I stand today just to say and to plead with the city to take a notice of this, to get out, because you guys don't pass it every day. I do, but I promise you, if you drove by it every day on your way home, it would make a difference. So again, I implore that if we can get this tour set up and we find some of these troubled areas, to be able to get some of the council's participation to go with us into these. And you know, we'll do the driving, we'll drive around, we'll point it out, but it's a lot better if you look at it for yourself.
You had left the last meeting.
Yes,
but
I had to. I'm sorry.
The council had agreed to take the tour. We are just waiting for some better weather to come out, and the city manager will inform you.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Thank you, Council. My name is Derek Hughes. I live at 627 5th Northeast Street. It was brought to my attention yesterday that in the bottom of the courthouse, there are Negro-only men's toilet signs and Negro-only women's toilet signs. And I know that the county commissioner's office decided to do that because of history, but that history is, someone's history is another person's nightmare. Of course, I hope no one here thinks slavery was, anything good came out of slavery to remember. I mean, we don't want to remember it. We don't need any help remembering that our grandparents were raped, murdered, and beaten. And I don't think no one else would want to remember that part of the history. So I don't know who voted on it, who decided it, but I mean, this is my personal opinion. What I'm going to do is go out into the community and find out what the community wants to be done about it. If it's something legal, rest assured we will be back to handle that. But I don't know who decided to put that up, but I don't think, if you come in there as a black person and the first thing you see is a Negro toilet sign, I don't think you're gonna get any justice there. That's the way I would feel. So, I mean, I know that doesn't determine how the court come out, but that's what it presents. If I just walk through there, Negro only sign, Negro toilet sign, come on, that's not, I don't think that's, I mean, it may have been done for someone thought a good reason, but it's an insult to me, and I hope to the rest of the black community that I will be approaching as soon as possible. Thank you, Council.
Mr. Hughes, just one quick question.
Oh, yes, sir.
Have you addressed this to the Commissioner's Court, because really they have jurisdiction over it, correct?
Well, no, I just found out about this yesterday, and now, I mean, I attend the city council meetings, so I knew I had 2 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
with that, we will go down whatever the right avenues.
I think the right avenue would be the County Commissioner's Court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Ken Higdon. I'm the president of the Mark County Chamber of Commerce, 8 West Plaza. Just wanted a quick reminder to let you know that we listened to the council and we've attended the meetings, as the mayor pointed out the other day. And as we look at water development, we've invited Kathleen Jackson to visit our community. She will be here the 17th and 18th of this month. We will have a luncheon that everyone is invited to at the Holiday Inn Express at noon on the 18th. That's Tuesday, the 18th. Cost for a table is $200. Individual tickets are $15, and it's a full meal with dessert, so it'll be a good deal. But we look forward to having Ms. Jackson tour Paris. We're going to see some of the industries. We're also going to go to the water treatment plant and the sewer plant. So I want to thank the council. I want to thank the staff for helping arrange that meeting for us, and we hope that we can build a relationship with a group that is known to hand out grants and low-term cost loans for city improvements. So we look forward to that.
Can you just clarify, when you say everybody is invited, who everybody is?
We have limited seating. We have 64 seats, and we have 40 of those taken already. So if you want to go to the chamber website, anyone that would like to attend would be interested in this legislative briefing on the Texas Water Development Board is invited to attend.
And it's a paid ticket?
It's a paid ticket.
And what's the price of the ticket?
$15.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Here you are, Mr. Jerry.
My name is Brenda Cherry. I live at 1442 Fitzhugh. I know it's not the city's business, but I too am offended by the Negro toilet signs. But I wanted to talk about Fitzhugh regarding the overgrown grass and weeds. I don't think in the area where I live, it's right behind, across from Booker T. And I don't think anybody has mowed that probably since 2003 or 2004. And it's so overgrown, it looks horrible. And I know it's a low-income neighborhood, but we matter. And, you know, we want things done in our neighborhood just like anywhere else. And so, like behind me, I mean, it's just how you can't even look back there, and it looks horrible. In my neighborhood, people are allowed to do pretty much anything they want to do. I could probably build a tent next to the street and live out of it, and nobody would say a thing. And I think it's the city's responsibility to take care of the poor neighborhoods just like they do the others. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, Council. My name is Chris Brown. I live at 4650 Deer Haven Lane here in Paris. One of the reasons I wanted to just come and talk to y'all tonight, and I have spoken to a couple of the council members here previously. One of the agenda items that y'all have tonight is talking about the animal control ordinance that we have.
If you can come a little closer to the mic.
Just for myself, and also I'm supervisor here at the post office in town, we have had several different attacks by dogs or have had employees bitten. I personally myself was attacked by a pit bull here about 2.5 weeks ago, and it's nothing fun. And just wanting to see if there's something that we can do as a council, as a city, to get out to the people living in Paris a better awareness of keeping our pets penned up, chained up, possibly away from even the mailboxes where our employees are having to go every single day of the week. Again, it's just an awareness to the city that we wanted to see if we could get y'all's help in helping us get that to them. If there's anything else I can do, questions I can ask, just let me know. But I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Here you are.
Hello, my name is Shatana Woods. I'm a resident of Brookston, Texas. My nephew was murdered here in Paris, Texas, in the quadruple murder. I feel like that there hasn't been enough done, and that it's not on the forefront. I don't feel like Paris Police Department is doing anything about it. It will be 2 months. In 2 months, it'll be 2 years. We don't have any information as we did of the night that it happened. So we would like some answers, and we would like to make sure that they are doing their job or get enough help. I inquired about a homicide department, but I was told that even though it was 4 murders, it only consists of 1. That just means it's 1, and it hasn't been enough murders in Lamar County to have to have a homicide division, but it's clearly they need some help. So we want some answers. We haven't heard anything. We never do. Everything that we do, it's social media, and it's wrong. We haven't heard from them. And Breon Woods is my nephew, and we want answers. We want to keep it on the forefront. We want them to get the help that they need if they can't do it alone.
Ms. Woods, thank you for coming. We'll discuss it afterward. We'll talk to the city manager and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Carl Brown. I'm at 3730 Brownwood Circle. I want to address 2 questions. The first one is dealing with the overgrowth of grass. I think the city is kind of getting in a backflow of things, and that is you're foreclosing on property faster than you can get rid of them, and don't have the manpower to keep them cut. Otherwise, you repossessing stuff, tearing it down, and not getting it sold, and you can't even keep up with it. Now, how you fix that, that's all on y'all. But as long as you take more out than you put in, you're gonna continue to have this problem. You may have the big grand scheme of things what it's supposed to look like at the end, but for right now, that's the issue we're running into. My second question is dealing with contracts, bidding contracts. I stay here, I pay taxes here for over 30 years. And I haven't seen a city, from judging the other cities, work their contracts the way the city of Paris works. There doesn't seem to be much diversity in it. I don't have a choice on how much taxes I pay, when I gotta pay them, my water bill, if I want water. All that's mandatory. I think it needs to be a certain stipulation on how the contracts are bidded and when the term contracts extensions extends, and not just let them continue to run. As my issue right now with the way the contracts go. I lack opportunities, as any business person would lack opportunities. But unless you get those opportunities, you're shut out. So if there's a contract and the expiration date and the extensions runs off of it, when you take money from the city, from residents, from the state government, you're obligated by law to rebid that contract. There's no ifs and buts about it. Otherwise, you monopolize the system. That's the reason the extensions are for so long. So I would like the city to look in that and see if that's taking place. I'll give you the opportunity to look into it before I come back and point out where it's at. Thank you very much.
If you want to write some suggestions and leave it with the city manager, you can do that. You know, just jot some of your suggestions down.
All right, thank you, sir.
I am Thelma Dangerfield, and I live at 1230 Martin Luther King Drive.
Ms. Dangerfield, can you bring the mic closer to you so that
Thank you.
everybody can hear?
My name is Thelma Dangerfield, and I live at 1230 Martin Luther King Drive. I've been there since 1999. On the east side of my house, there is a branch that runs through there, and we've never been able to get any support with it. They'll come in the spring, they will spray it. All the grass is dry. Children walking through, matches, cigarettes, could start a fire. The ground right next to it breaks down. My husband mows all the way on the branch. But occasionally, we have to go out and pull him out with the tractor because it breaks down and it sinks, and it's dangerous. And we do need some support there. And as I travel over town, I see all the branches in other areas that are concrete, they're fenced off, the children can't get down in them to play when the water's dirty, but that one is different. And my other thing is, on Northeast 16th, just a block from me, there is a lot, Northeast 16th and Martin Luther King. It's an abandoned house, no one lives there. There's a dog there that goes at will. He gets in the garbage all over the north side of town, and you can't keep him out. But no one is ever at that place. It needs mowing, it needs cleaning up. So that's my complaint. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dangerfield. If there's nobody else wanting to
My name is Tyrobia Brown. I'm a
put the
citizen.
mic up, please.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Tyrobia Browner. I've been here in the city. I've lived here over 30 years. My complaint is on the west side. My mom, I'm a resident of 853 3rd Northwest. We've been having a terrible issue with getting our ditches redug and cleaned. It's done turned into a mosquito cesspool. So I've been down to the city manager. I've talked to Mr. Godwin about it. I've been down to the city. Still ain't nobody came out and cleaned up the ditches. We have this problem year round, and we really need some help with that. I mean, with the West Nile and all the different diseases that mosquitoes carry. Across from our house is a church, and along the west side of that church is a drainage ditch, same problem. So I'm just here crying out for a little help on the cleanup on the west side. That's what I've been doing today, so excuse my dress attire. Thank y'all.
Thank you for coming. If there's nobody else wanting to speak in the Citizens Forum, the Citizens Forum is now closed. We move on to item 4B, which is the first proclamation. The first proclamation is declaring August 11, 2015 as Underground Damage Prevention Day. Is Ms. Mosier here? She's not. Okay. Whereas the leading cause of harm to underground facilities is excavation damage, and whereas pipeline operators and underground facilities owners are committed to raising awareness of the underground damage prevention and safe digging practices. And dedication to safe digging practices helps prevent potentially serious or fatal injuries while keeping our environment clean and our utilities on without interruption. Whereas the date of August 11th corresponds to nationwide one call number 811, which provides anyone planning to excavate a simple, easy way to contact the State Underground Notification Center. And whereas through the support of the pipeline industry, the nationwide 811 day media effort promoting the Call Before You Dig program will air ads during the week of August 11, 2015. Whereas the City of Paris supports these efforts to promote underground damage prevention and safe digging practices. Now therefore I, A.J. Hashmi, Mayor of the City of Paris, and on behalf of the Paris City Council, do hereby proclaim August 11, 2015 as Underground Damage Prevention Day. Janice, if we can just send it to her, please. The next proclamation is 4C, proclaiming the month of August 15th as One City, One Book. Ms. McNally and Ms. Young will receive this. Whereas the Friends of the Library, in conjunction with the Paris Public Library, Paris Community Theatre, Sam Bell Maxi House, and the Lamar County Coalition of Education, Business and Industry, encourage the citizens to join in reading, encountering, and discussing one book throughout the year. And whereas the official book chosen is Little Women by Louise May Alcott, and whereas A Reading City is a Clever City, and One City, One Book will broaden our understanding of each other, our city and world around us. Whereas talking about books with each other encourages the exchange of ideas, stimulates critical thinking, and sparks public conversation. Whereas several events have been planned throughout the city as part of the One City, One Book campaign, including Tea with Marmy at the Sam Bell Maxi House, Little Women in Musical at the Paris Community Theatre, and Juvenile and Teen Book Club at the Paris Public Library. Whereas One City, One Book emphasizes the importance of meaningful time spent reading and experiencing the same ideas as a community for an entire year. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City of Paris, I, A.J. Hashmi, Mayor of the City of Paris, do hereby declare the month of August 15, 2015 as One City, One Book. If you can please come forward to receive. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Any of the council members have any questions on the consent agenda? Mr. Pickle?
No, sir.
Mr. Frierson?
No, sir.
Dr. Clifford?
No.
Mr. Pilata?
No.
Mr. Jenkins?
Sir.
Ms. Lancaster?
No, sir.
I'll take a motion on this item then.
I'll make the motion.
Second by Dr. Clifford. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Motion carries. Moving on to the regular agenda, item number 12. First reading and discuss an ordinance of the City of Paris, Texas, granting to Atmos Energy Corporation, a Texas and Virginia corporation, its successors and assignees, a franchise to construct, maintain, and operate pipelines and equipment in the City of Paris, Lamar County, Texas, for transportation, delivery, sale, and distribution of gas in and out of and throughout the city for all purposes, providing for payment of a fee or charge for the use of public rights-of-way, and providing that such fee shall be in lieu of other fees and charges, accepting ad valorem taxes, providing for a term and effective date, providing for written acceptance of the franchise, providing that the meeting of which this ordinance is passed is open to public, providing for severability, and ordaining other provisions related to the subject matter hereof. Gene.
Council members, as you're aware, utility companies require a franchise agreement to operate and use the city's right-of-ways. And the franchise agreement for Atmos Energy, had recently expired. And it requires, under the charter, that 3 readings of an ordinance for a franchise be done prior to adoption of it. And the matter on the agenda tonight is just the first reading of that ordinance. And if anybody has a question, then we'll be glad to try to answer it. But,
Any of the council members have any questions? No. So this is the first reading? Yes. Okay. No action on this item, Mr. President? Thank you. Item number 13. I'm sorry.
I'd like to move item 23 up to about 15. Oh, I'd like to move item 23 up to about 15.
Do you make a motion for that? Are you making a motion to move that item
Yes,
up?
I am.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor of moving item 23? Which item is this?
It's the Lamar County Fairground.
Item 23.
Mhm.
Okay. All in favor
Wait,
of
moving it to where? What is the
Just
motion?
moving it up to about 15.
moving the item up to discuss?
To item 15?
To item 15.
I'm sorry?
Well, we've
Well,
got,
in that
23.
area.
well,
Move 23 up.
okay.
Item 20, he's asking to move item 23 up on the agenda.
Okay.
So
Up
she
to
made-
where?
To
Well,
now.
why don't we
Okay, right
put it-
now? That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't care. Just tell us where we're gonna do
Well,
it.
I said,
About 15. Well, okay.
put it between 14 and 15. Mr. Pickle, do you
That'd
need
be
a
great.
map for it?
Thank you.
Seconded by Mr.
I thought,
Jenkins. All in favor?
aye.
All right. You can move the item 23 up. Discuss and possibly action on an agreement between Red River Valley Fair Association and the City of Paris concerning Paris Lamar County Fairground Event Center located at 1875 Fitzhugh. So first of all, to discuss this item, I need a motion to untable this because last...
Wait. I thought we were on item 13.
Yeah, we're on
Okay,
13.
I
That's why I was asking for clarification.
Yeah. Yeah.
wanna do it now?
I'm just moving it up between 14 and 15.
Okay, so you want, not right now, you don't want it right now, you want it between, okay.
About
Sorry,
two.
my
About
mistake.
Good. I wasn't the only one confused.
Okay. So item number 13, you want it between 13 and 14?
14 and 15.
Between 14 and 15, okay. Item 23 will be between 14 and 15, sorry for the confusion.
That's okay.
Back to item number 13. Discuss, conduct a public hearing and possibly act on an ordinance to consider the petition of John House for a changing in zoning from Planned Development District, PDB, which is a housing development or community unit development in the Planned Development Zoning District to Commercial District C on lots 6 and 7, City Block 331, located at 3700 block of Northwest Loop 286.
Mayor and Council, this is just as you presented it, the request by Mr. Housebach, I believe, is present, at a public hearing on a zoning change. 2 cabin rentals on part of the property, restaurant and recreation on the other part of the property. He does request a commercial zoning. P&Z unanimously recommended that, staff does as well.
Any of the council members have any questions on this?
Nope. We do need to open a public hearing.
Okay, so the public hearing is now open. Anyone wanting to speak in favor or against, please come up to the podium, write your name and address for the record. If there's nobody wanting to speak for or against, the public hearing is now closed. Motion item?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So moved.
Second.
What's the motion? To approve?
To approve. Motion to approve.
Seconded by Mr. Frierson. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Motion carries.
Yeah.
Okay. 13, 14. Item number 14. Discuss and conduct a public hearing on the petition of Skylar Bertnell for a change in zoning from Central Retail District GR and Single Family Dwelling District Number 2 SF2 to Commercial District C with a specific use permit 55 self-storage mini warehouse on Lot 7, part of 8 and 9 City Block 249, located in 2500 block of Lamar Avenue. Mr. City Manager.
This project is, or the application is no longer valid. The applicant does not own the property. He has no, his plat was denied, and also he was denied some changes that he requested at the Board of Adjustment, so this request needs to be denied.
Okay. Motion to deny?
Motion to deny.
Seconded?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Denied. Okay. Item number 23, which has been moved up. Discuss and possible action on an agreement between Red River Valley Fair Association and the City of Paris concerning Paris-Lamar County Fairgrounds Event Center located at 1875 Fitzhugh. A motion to remove this item from being tabled from the last time. I need a motion to untable.
So moved.
Second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. All right. You want to talk about this?
Yes, I'd like to, sorry. I'd like to make a motion to accept this property to be used for city functions. I think we need to have a lot more areas that we can have reading programs or dog shows or training areas. We don't have a whole lot. We're already taking care of the land pretty much around it because of the fire training station. And with the exception of the fact that it needs to have that $25,000 paid, I would like to recommend that the city receive that property.
You've made a motion or you're discussing?
I went ahead and made a motion, but we can certainly discuss it.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay. Any discussion on this item?
I have some questions.
I have the question too. Mr. Francis?
No, it's fine. Sue, I guess I heard what you said. My questions are, what is it that the city is going to do that's not being offered now?
Well, there are a lot of things that we could be offering in a smaller venue.
Such as?
Well, we've been approached for a pre-reading training from a teacher. It's been suggested that they could have dog training classes there, and that was Bar Hill.
Do they have those now? The dog training classes?
No, they have a terrible time finding a place to put it. It's too hot. This gives them an opportunity to have those kinds of classes in an area that is cooled.
And how is the facility going to be staffed?
Well, presently it's handled by the person who rents the venue.
But ongoing day to day?
That is ongoing day to day. It's been handled that way for years.
The person renting it?
Yes.
Handles day to day?
And that has been very successful.
So
I don't know if the lady from the fairgrounds is here. She was going to try. Here she is. Maybe she can explain this better.
Ms. Haynes, long time no see.
I am going to try to clear up some misunderstanding.
Can you identify yourself first, please?
My name is Rita Jane Haynes. I'm Executive Director for the Red River Valley Fair Association. I have been on the fairgrounds since 1980. I have seen a lot of changes. Now, I want to tell you the building that we're talking about is the building on the corner of Fitzhugh and Clement that we built in 1997 for our bingo operation. We was using Building B on the fairgrounds for bingo, but because of the fair and everything, we had to shut down bingo during that time. So we borrowed $250,000 and built the building on Fitzhugh and Clement. Little did we know that the casino was going to come to play, and we shut down bingo in 2010. At that time, we remodeled that building, and we have been renting it out and paying the utilities on it. A few years ago, when EMS was looking for a building for the city, I offered the building at that time. The whole fair board is in agreement with this. It's not just me, it's the whole organization. That we offered that building, and now it's come to the point that that building is far away from the fairgrounds. It's hard for us to maintain and keep an eye on. We operate with very, very little staff. We use community service and that sort of thing. We're offering this building for possibly Parks and Recreation Department, whatever. We cannot sell the building because it's on city property. So we are offering it to the city for whatever Sue, the rest of the council would like to use it for. We cannot release the building until after October, and I will explain that misunderstanding to you. We borrowed some money in 2007, which had a little bit of a loan balance left on our original $250. We borrowed money to remodel Building B, and out of the money we borrowed, we spent another $30,000 on the event center with driveways and parking lots. So we have invested some money in the building, but it's to the point that we need to focus more on what we have there in the middle of the fairgrounds. We cannot use the building for Christmas and Fair Park or for the fair because it is so far away. That is the only reason that we need to downsize at this time. So I hope I've answered some of the questions that some of you may have about the money. We're not asking the city to pay the rest of the loan balance. We will take care of that after the fair this year. So we can release the building, say, the 1st of November or so.
Ms. Haynes, can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes, sir.
Is the building in any need of repairs at this point?
It does need some work on the floor. The floor was first stained, the concrete was stained when we first built it. It got worn through the bingo operation, and we tried repainting it. Well, guess what? I mean, what's wrong with the floor is cosmetic. We have replaced an air conditioning unit in it, and just last week we replaced the hot water heater in it. But we used the building this last weekend, and we're renting it out for different things. So there's nothing major about it. It's
so the roof is not leaking and the air conditioning is not bad?
No, as a matter of fact, after the rains, I had Winters Construction out there, and they went in and redid all the, whatever they do to the screws. So everything's fine.
And how much do you rent the building out for right now?
Right now, we rent the building out, it's divided into 2 rooms. We rent it out for $50 an hour, or if you do an all-day rental from 9 o'clock in the morning till midnight, we rent it for $500.
And do you get renters to come in and rent the place?
Oh, yes, sir, every weekend.
Okay.
Except for like January, February, and March, you don't have that many rentals of any building.
Okay. Anybody, and one other question, the utilities on that, what are the costs? I think there was some question about how much.
I don't have those figures in front of me, but I have shared that with Sue at one time last year, the rental income covers the utilities. We just had an exception last year where we had to replace an air conditioning unit, which made it lose like $900 for the year, but overall it covers its expenses.
And you're not charging anything from the city to give it to the city? You're not expecting any money in return?
No, unless you just won't volunteer, but no, we're not.
Okay. Sue has a question.
Now, the utilities did run a little higher because you kept them on all the time. Is that true?
Yes, we keep the utilities on all the time. We figure it's cheaper to keep it heat and air than it is to pay for frozen pipes or.
Any particular temperature you set that on, or do you know that?
Usually I'll set it on like 70, 72 when there's a rental, but throughout the week I'll put it on like 75, 78, something like that.
So it actually could be a little higher, 80s.
Well, yeah, but see, there's like 6 units in that building.
Right, right. It would lend itself a lot to venues like teaching reading or dog show or dog training.
We had a dog show down there last year. Well, no, it was a couple of months ago. We had one last year too.
Wasn't the problem with the dog show at your main location being the fact it was just terribly uncomfortable with the temperature being?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But this is climate control, so it would be much more
I mean, they've
advantageous.
used the dog show before in the Coliseum, where there's no heat or air in that building.
Right. And we lost rentals the next time. People didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have air conditioning and heating,
it makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
Have I cleared up the questions involved? Or?
Mostly. Can I ask a quick question? Is there anything at this point that the city would do differently that the Fair Association's not? I guess I'm concerned within ours, and is there anything that's limiting you that the city would be able to offer a rental that you wouldn't otherwise be able to provide?
No. It's just, we need to downsize.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
what it amounts to.
Sure.
We need to maintain what we use basically during the fair and throughout the year.
Okay.
Didn't the lack of air conditioning and heat affect some of your venues, though?
In the Coliseum, yes.
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 I heard complaints about that.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have it in that building.
I had one question. Can I ask a question? I was going to ask Sue, but since you're here, you may be more knowledgeable. It said you were going to take the tables and chairs, and that's fine. But can you kind of give a ballpark figure how much it would cost to put tables and chairs in it, so people, that they expect tables and chairs in there? So
Well, the only reason I said we'd take the tables or chairs, we can use them down at the other end of the fairgrounds.
Okay.
But it depends on what type of tables and chairs value. You can get the folding tables for like $40 a piece or something like that.
Sometimes less.
So you talking? Do you have an idea how much it costs to
Well,
put tables and chairs
I
back
have
in?
an idea. No, I bought tables like that for $20, so it all depends.
We're looking
Yeah.
at 1,000, 5,000. What?
Okay, I think you're not looking at something else, though. We don't have anywhere near enough things for our children to do and elder to do in this town, or places to do it. Smaller groups. And that's what I think this little building would be wonderful for.
Now, remember, this building has 2 rooms.
Mhm.
There's a smaller room, and then there's a larger room, which we have rented out the smaller room, like when the telephone directories come to town to be delivered, they rent that out, and just smaller meeting rooms.
And this building's on city property?
Yes, sir, it is. And we have a lease with the city of Paris. And that we put in 5% of our income into capital improvements on the fairgrounds. So this is already a capital improvements per our lease agreement.
And what if you just abandon the lease and just abandon the building, and what would stop you from doing that?
I guess nothing.
So you could literally walk away from the building, the city would have it anyway, is that, I mean,
I guess if,
I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing to do, but it's certainly,
that's not the way I do business.
yeah.
Well, that could potentially have some repercussions on the fair as well then.
Yeah.
I could.
I mean, because we own the fairgrounds.
Yes.
You have a question?
Who manages it right now?
Who manages
The bingo park?
the event center?
The event center, whatever you want to call it. Who manages it right now?
I guess you'd say I do.
Okay, so if there's an event, when the event's over, you go up there and make sure it's all cleaned up and put back together, and it's not, you're the one that's responsible for that.
Mhm.
Okay, so we would have to have someone responsible to do that. Right?
Yes, I am responsible for doing the lease agreements and everything for the people that rent the buildings, making sure it's clean, and I use a lot of community service people for that.
Does anyone have any more questions for her? Thank you so much, Ms. Mays, for coming.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on this item? Yeah, Mr. Fresher?
I guess I'm stuck because I don't disagree with wanting more for youth and a brighter future and places to go and smaller venues. I guess I'm stuck on why the city we wouldn't be doing anything different. It's already happening. So why would we take on the overhead and maintenance of it whenever we've got budget problems trying to stretch out fair pay for our staff? So is there something I'm missing, Sue, out of this?
Well, I
Because you
think
say
it's-
it's nice and everything, and I agree, but I don't understand what's different.
I think it's a real opportunity to get something instead of having to build it from scratch. We already own the land. The building is a good building. I've looked at it. It's a little cosmetic on the floor, but that's no problem. I don't think the dogs at the dog show care what color the floor is. But I am very, very much in favor of giving us every opportunity to offer small classes for our citizens and especially our youth. I don't think there's anybody here that will disagree with me that we don't have enough for our kids to do. We need to be able to offer it. And if it means we have to spend a little time cleaning a building occasionally, I'm for it.
Mr. Bickler?
When you say offer them, so are you saying that we're gonna do these for free?
No.
Okay, so
This is no more than what they have been doing, except they are now not in a situation to handle it. We need places to hold events. Excuse me. And it does generate money, and she does use community service. That's certainly available to us too. I mean, there are ways to handle this. And there's really nothing in that area for our children. Yes, sir.
Done with your question?
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess my concern is that do we want to jeopardize an opportunity that may come up in the next 12 months because we jumped into this and hope that this is going to do something that it hasn't done in the past so many years?
This has been active. It has been effective. It just hasn't been a city. And you know, if I were to base my life on if, I sure wouldn't get very far.
Well, that's what you're doing.
You know, this is a good building. It's been used. It's in good shape. You're saying if I win the lottery ticket next year, I'll be a millionaire. Well, that if may never come. This building's here. It's ready.
If you can get it occupied and if we can get these events coming in here that haven't come in here in the past.
Based upon what she has told me and the records, I don't think that's a problem.
Well,
let me go, if you don't mind.
Yeah, right
just go
ahead.
around
Sure.
and I'll come back to you. Dr. Clifford, do you have anything to say? Mr. Jenkins, you have anything to say?
Well, I know on the building is used quite often. So
It is.
whatever she's trying to get up, I'd like to see what we can go about it. But the building is used almost every weekend, so we can see where we'll go from there.
My thoughts on this is that if the building is on city-owned property, and the building is in good condition in the sense that it is not requiring any repairs on the building, that the air conditioning is fine and the roof is fine, I do not see any harm in taking the building over. I think there are plenty of other buildings that the city maintains, and that would be one other building. Furthermore, at some point we were thinking of doing, a rec center, maybe too small for a rec center, but a small gym or something can possibly be created out of it. So I think a building on city-owned property, as long as we are not in the situation of asbestos abatement and this, that, and the other, I would favor it. I see no reason not to do it.
Do we?
And particularly also, one other thing is that I think from the sounds of it, it has been cost effective, isn't it? That
Yes,
it has covered its expenses.
Can we come up with like a couple of thousand to put tables and chairs back in it? Think we can?
I don't see why we can't.
I'm not asking.
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh, sorry.
You want me to donate? I'll donate it.
Huh?
If that's the question. Is that what you're asking?
Oh, good.
Is that what you're asking?
No, I mean.
Yes, it is, Benny. Say yes.
if it's just a question of buying a few tables and chairs, I don't think it's a big.
We're gonna have to roll that to the budget somehow. That's
Mr. Clifford?
Oh, I was just saying, it doesn't have to be maintained in the way it's been. We could just rent it on weekends. It would be one weekend rental, it's either taken or it's not, and it could be a limited amount of time anyone would need to put into it. Or if it were successful, and it would have a lot of options. We don't have to do it exactly the way they've done it before.
Dr. Hushman, can you speak?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Once again, my name is Derek Hughes. This property is another one of the properties that's in the black community and that is used often. But as far as your question about the maintaining of it, the way the Red River Valley Fair has been doing it is whoever rents it, they're responsible for cleaning it. And so it's been working pretty good for them. I've attended several events throughout the years there since they've been doing it. And as far as the city, the city rents out Leon Park, and the people who ever rented are responsible. So, that's no different than someone is already doing that job. You're just adding another location to their role to keep up with. But as far as the maintaining of it, in the lease agreement, way it's been done, that whoever rents it is responsible for cleaning it. And the city is on city property, so y'all probably already mow it and everything anyway. So, I don't think it'll be that much extra burden on the city. And we already got tables donated by the. So, it would probably benefit the city because it does get rented a lot. And, with a little advertisement, could probably get used even more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any? Yeah, Mr.
I do want to kind of piggyback on what Derek just said, and maybe we're talking just in parameters at this point, but we just had the citizens forum, and we just had half a dozen people come up and talk about how we need to be doing a better job of cleaning the city and upkeep and beautification, and how we can't get lots mowed fast enough, and we can't maintain everything else. Now we're going to take on something to stretch our resources even further. So while it may be minimal, I don't know. I really not in that business. Mr. Godwin, do you see what is your, I guess, focus at this point of this facility? Is it going to cost? Is it going to cost more? We're going to need more employees.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what we do. If we're going to simply stick with what's being done now, then you're talking about incremental work for somebody to take reservations, to manage leases. If we're talking about creating additional programming, which would be great, if we're talking about creating recreational programming or community-oriented programming, then that requires either contractors or staff. But again, I guess it's kind of still to be determined what we will do with it when we take it over in November.
Right.
So the answer is it kind of depends on what we do.
Right, and that's kind of my question. And again, I want that to be clear, is there's still a lot to be determined on this. I guess my point was simply that very few times in your life do you walk up to somebody at a job and say, do you have extra time? Because we're asking for more time now. And so I do think that's something that people ought to at least recognize exists.
Anything further on this item? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We move on to item number 15. Discuss and act on a resolution directing publication of notice of intent to issue from Nation Tax and Limited Pledge Surplus Revenue Certificates of Obligation. This item was placed on the agenda by me, but before Mr. Anderson, you go with it, I would like to make a motion to table this item. I've seen some of the portions of the budget. I think we have some financial crunch here, and I think at this point, I would personally like to wait on this item till all the budget discussions are completed before we embark on this, so that we have a clear idea of how much we owe, how much we can afford before we undertake this item. So I'd like to make a motion to table this item till after the budget workshops are completed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Item number 16, receive update, discuss and possibly act on hiring outside inspectors for the bond project. Mr. Gardner.
Very quickly, we did request proposals from a number of vendors, both through direct contact and also through newspaper advertisement. We received 4 proposals from KSA Engineers, Bureau Veritas, H.W. Lochner, and Building Code Consulting Services. We've had some dealings with all those firms in one form or another over the years. 2 of the firms, Bureau Veritas and Building Code Consulting Services, their main area tends to be building inspections as opposed to construction inspections, so they do have areas that cover both. I don't know if the council is ready to move forward on something now. We do have proposals. If the council wants to interview one of these firms or some of these firms, or if you want to review their proposals, that's within your venue. If you do want to proceed, and I think time is somewhat of an essence here, but if you are prepared to take an action tonight, my recommendation for you would be to use KSA, and again, how that would work is you would authorize me to enter into negotiations with KSA. Any contract with them would have to come back to the council for approval. And the reason I specifically recommend them, again, if you want to take action tonight, I don't know if you do or not, this was originally posted just as an update item, but we do have the information available. I had a similar situation a number of years ago in another city where we had a project that kind of languished. We had some changes with the contractor, we had some changes with the staff, we had some concerns about some inspection issues, and KSA specifically had a person who was kind of a hot shot, sort of a ramrod person who was brought in for that specific purpose to kind of straighten that project out, to establish that the project manager was the city, not the contractor. He did a great job of that. In talking with KSA recently, I learned that person is still with the firm. He actually lives in Mount Vernon, so he's reasonably close. He is available for this project, and he was listed in their proposal as a project manager. So from a huge success on a project in another city, with working with them, if, again, you choose to, and I'm not saying you should or should not tonight, if you choose to move forward, I would recommend that you do authorize me to enter into negotiations. Whether that proves fruitful or not, I don't know. Now, the rest of that story is because of the size of the scope of this next big project that will be bid out. It's advertised for bid right now, which is Project 4, Phase 4. We've got an A, B1, B2, and 4, an unusual sequencing of numbers. But Project 4 is about a $22 to $27 million project. It's about a 48-month project. It will have, in some cases, 2, 3, or even 4 crews working at one time. So it will necessitate more than one inspector on site some days, some weeks, some months. Also, because we're limiting ourselves to a contractor outside of Lamar County, during that process, you're going to also have costs related to travel, to lodging, to meals, and so forth and so on. And that's to be expected, and that's not unusual. But there is some advantage to having someone that's a little bit closer. So there may be a cost savings to having someone from Mount Vernon as well. Although, before anybody asks, We didn't get calls from any of these. 3 of these are engineering firms, and as you probably recall, engineers, when they submit proposals and qualifications, are prohibited by state law from giving you prices. That's why you negotiate with them after you select a top choice.
Thank you. This item was placed by Dr. Clifford, but I'll give my opinion on this. And my opinion is that I think, personally, I'd like to see what their proposals are. I'm not talking about financial proposals, but what they cover, what is the extent of their services. And I'd quite like, we did with the engineering firm, I'd like to meet with them before I decide, but that's just my opinion. Ms. Lancaster.
I agree with you. I think we should.
Mr. Jenkins?
I agree with also.
Mr. Collada?
Yeah, I agree. I have no problem with that.
Dr. Clifford,
Yeah,
it's your item, so.
I want to meet with them and see what they're going to do. I mean, I'm the guy that kind of was pushing for this, and I want to make sure that they're going to do what I think I would like for them to do, and I'd like for them to explain to me what they're going to do. And so I think we'd have to interview to do that.
Mr. Frierson?
I mean, that's fine if that's the consensus of the council with me.
And Mr. Pickle?
I agree with what Matt said.
No.
I'm sorry, do you want to talk to all 4, or do you want to just the top 2, or?
Personally, I'd like to talk to all 4, but I'd like to talk to all 4 on the same day.
Yeah. But if you're going to do all 4, you should do them all the same night. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
If everybody else is in agreement, then.
We'll try to schedule that for the 24th if they're available. So.
Or if we need to do a special meeting, because we have budget coming up.
I do have a tentative special meeting coming up on the 31st of August as well, so that gives us a couple of options.
The sooner
Give you
the
more
better.
time to talk to them, maybe, rather than it's not part of the regular.
All right, so we are going to give directions on this item to arrange the meetings with the engineering firm, and then we'll decide after that. Item number 17 is discuss animal control ordinance. Who's presenting this?
I will very quickly, and I don't have a lot to say other than our ordinance is 45 years old. It's kind of mild by modern standards as far as what it allows us to do and not do. It kind of is what a lot of people call a first bite free ordinance. I like to see us, with your permission, to just evaluate making some changes to the ordinance. You have to be really careful as you balance that you don't take away pet owners' rights and privileges and so forth and so on. As a longtime pet owner, I'm certainly sympathetic to that. But you do want to keep people safe. And that includes kids walking down the sidewalk. That includes a mailman going to your front door. You heard from gentlemen earlier this morning that had some issues. So again, we may come back and recommend no changes, but we just basically would like your instruction or your permission for us to go back and look at the ordinance and probably update some things, make some things a little tougher, not excessively so. I have talked to the police chief. Of course, he's in charge of animal control here, and also with the prosecuting attorney for the city, Stephanie Harris. And so I'd like to work with them and with others and see what we can come up with.
Anybody has any comments?
Well, I do. I talked to John about this, and I do think it's a good idea. I think as we've seen, not necessarily in this area, but other things that we've gotten into in the past year, it's always good to kind of reflect back and take what was a good foundation and tweak it and update it. So I would certainly be in favor of that. I think it's a real need and a public safety issue that we need to be very cognizant of. So.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I read it. I read the ordinance, and it is a little outdated. I agree completely.
It is.
So the director
Doesn't even mention cats.
But they don't count.
Attack cats, we've got attack cats.
So if nobody
Chain
has
those
any
cats
further
up.
thing, should we direct them to come back with the changes that they think are appropriate.
Thank you.
Item number 18 is discuss and appoint 2 members to fill the vacancies on the historic preservation. First of all, this item needs to be on table 2 because we tabled this item last time.
I went back and I thought we did too.
So I'll take a motion to untable the item.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Okay, so what are the members, what are the people who have asked for position?
We have 3 applicants. Those applicants are Chris Dukes, Annie Beard, and Michael King. Those applications were, I'm sorry. The applications that we received are from Chris Dukes, Annie Beard, and Michael King.
Okay, we'll take nominations for them.
I'll nominate Chris Dukes.
I'll second it.
I'll nominate Annie Beard.
A second.
Any, Second on which one?
Annie,
Or,
could
okay.
you-
Any other nomination?
I'll nominate Michael King.
Michael King. Okay, so we'll take the votes on the first one. Mr. Dukes, all in favor?
Chris Dukes.
Okay. Mr. Dukes gets appointed. Number 2 nomination was Annie Beard. All in favor? And the third one is
Mr. King.
Mr. King. All in favor?
Can I ask, do y'all know Mr. King?
Not personally.
I don't know him personally. But
So
I
does anybody know his
understand- but I
qualifications?
understand he owns a business in downtown and is quite interested. That's all I know. I don't know him personally.
Don't know him personally.
Okay.
But other than Chris Dukes, I don't know anybody else personally, quite honestly.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Anyway, the last one is Mr. King.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so you've not voted? So
Well, I don't know too much about Mr. King. I'll just
So we have one appointee and the second position is left open again.
second.
Yeah. 3 and 3.
On Mr. King?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so one position remains open. We'll need to direct to get further nomination or further applicants, I suppose.
Okay.
All right. The next is item number 19. Receive presentation, discuss and provide direction to staff on fiscal year 2015-16 budget for the city of Paris.
Just want to hit some of the major highlights, certainly if you have any questions or discussion, but this is trying to introduce the budget that's been drafted to you. Your notebooks are here now for you to take home this evening and look at the details, and we will have this on the agenda for August 24th. And again, we have a tentative work session date of August 31st, which is 3 weeks from tonight, another Monday night meeting scheduled to talk about the budget in some detail. What you will take home with you this evening, unless I forget to give them to you, is a budget that has a flat tax rate. The current tax rate is 50.195 cents, so it does not include a tax increase at this point. It does, as of right now, include the debt service on $2.5 million in COs. That's, if you do or do not decide to make that decision. A shift in the overall pay plan. Remember, we have a step in grade system. 1.8%, and that was based on the increase in ad valorem tax values. The creation of 2 unfunded police officer positions, and let me just explain it real quickly in case you don't remember us talking about that, or maybe it didn't make any sense to you the last time I said it. The council has to authorize the creation of positions because of civil service and police and fire. We would not fund those 2 positions because we don't intend to fill them all the time, and that probably still doesn't make much sense, but we've got 65 positions. So in a lot of cases, we've got somebody off, like we do right now on workers' comp for a year, or we've got 3 or 4 vacancies, and so we just have to sit there with vacancies. If we have 2 positions that are on the books but not funded, we can fill those more quickly. That reduces overtime and saves us money in the long term. So we're going to be requesting 2 positions, and that'll come later. That'll be a separate ordinance that you'll have to pass to increase the authorized staffing level. So it doesn't affect the budget at all. In fact, we hope it helps the budget. We hope it saves some overtime. But I put it on here because it is a major change from how we're doing things. But to explain that although we're going to authorize 2, ask you to authorize 2 more people, we will not trick you and hire 67 people at the same time. Continued phasing of the pay changes in the fire department and full-time EMS staff. We started that last year. Still got a ways to go. If you'll recall, EMS staff was and still is the only folks in the whole city that don't have some kind of step plan. And so we're trying to phase that in. We do have the new ambulance and equipment that we buy on an annual basis. We have 7. We buy one every year, so they're replaced every 7 years. It's a really good cycle. It's really good planning. And we hope to continue to be able to do that. The new sanitation fund that we talked about, we segregated that out, creating a recycling program, which we're excited about pursuing that. So that's included in the budget as well. And then completing the new restroom at the fairgrounds, that's on the agenda later tonight. We had enough money to get started on it this year, and then we're adding a little bit more money in this coming budget to be able to finish that in the next year.
The rest is all written?
What's that?
The rest is all written?
I think so. Not included are pay plan changes in the police department. Of course, we talked about this a good bit. Mr. Plotty spent some time talking with some of the police officers, and Chief Huntley made a presentation. So that's not in the budget right now. We don't have the architectural engineering costs for the replacement EMS station. That wasn't really something we expected to do this year, but we did just close on that land in the last couple of weeks, if you'll recall. So that's one of those things we do have out there. One of these days, we're going to need to build that building to put on land, probably sooner than later if we can afford it. The motor grader in the streets would be great because we really do need that, but we're not going to be able to replace that. And some of the SCBA and bunker gear, we do have some in there, but what we're trying to do is replace all of it within a certain 3 to 4 year period. We don't have enough in there yet to be able to replace a third or a fourth on an annualized basis, so we need to get that up. Talked about tennis courts and skate park improvements. Some of those parks improvements, we don't have any money for those in there right now. We also don't have a cost of living for retirees, and that's something that some of our retirees request on an annual basis. And for those of you that haven't dealt with that, what that means is when folks retire, they basically have a fixed amount that they get. And if you retire when you're 79, like Alan Eversey's looking at doing one day, unless you live to be 300 years old, it's not a bad deal. But if you retire earlier and you're on that retirement for 10 or 15 years, that buying value goes down. So that's a concern for them. And we talk about it every year. We've not funded that since I've been here. It's something that would be nice to be able to do. I'm not sure how practical that is. And then finally, the utilities fund, we talked about those things as well. No changes in the water rate, no changes in the sewer rate. $320,000 for beginning the design for the wastewater treatment plant. That's also somewhere else on the agenda. $270,000 for mandated work on 2 of the 10 mixed media filters. Doug Harris talked about that when he was here at the last meeting. And then 1 new employee at the water treatment plant for beginning in April, so for half a year. This is the only new person that's included, or only new position that's included in the entire budget, and that's again for just half a year. So that's a real quick summary. Also in your packets, you do have a summary of the CIB, the capital improvements budget. It's about 3 pages long, spreadsheets there that shows you these replacement and also new construction. And more we're trying to think long term, not just one budget to one budget. We're continuing, I think, to do better and better with that. A couple of council meetings ago, you got a copy of our operating plan that's prepared on an annual basis by the staff, and also included there is a 10-year staffing projection. So we're trying to, again, think multi-years and think far out rather than just one budget at a time. So that's all I had to present tonight. And I'll just, any questions you may have, or if you want to just wait until the next meeting.
I just have one question, but I'll wait for the next meeting on that. Just the 320 for the replacement of, that is funded?
That is in the budget right
Yeah.
now. Yes, it's in the budget that you're going to take on.
Anyone?
I have a question.
Sure.
John, you mentioned in here that the pay plan for raises and things like that for the staff, or I'm speaking specifically about what we've heard with fire and police. Go over with me again the numbers on that, what you have so far?
We have, there is a little bit of money in there for fire and EMS. There's a half a step for fire, and there is 1 step for EMS. They're going, remember, from 0 to a half and 0 to 1. There's not an increase in the budget as it's put together right now for police.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think all of our public safety folks really need those raises, and I don't mean that just on an individual basis, although that's true as well. But you heard the EMS chief and the fire chief and the police chiefs, all deliver the same message, and that is, even if you take out the experience, which is important, the overtime, which is important, the financial cost is huge. We're training people. We're spending, in some cases, I don't know, the police chief especially had specific numbers, $200,000 to train somebody so that he or she can go work for Greenville. Or the other day we even lost somebody to Sulphur Springs, which I think I've mentioned before. It really hurts my feelings that Sulphur Springs is now stealing our employees from us. Nothing against Sulphur Springs, it's a nice town, but they're not even half as big as us. And we're not able to keep up with them. So it bothers me a lot that we're not able to do that. We're losing experienced folks. And over the long term, that can have an effect on the quality of services we provide too.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody has any further questions? Mr. Anderson, I do have a question from you. Just for an arbitrary sake, because one of the numbers that was quoted when the police chief was discussing it, they came up with a roundabout figure of, say, if we were to go up by $3,000, that it will come to or equate to similar cities. What does that amount actually total to in a year for the police employees?
If you gave $3,000 a year to every certified police officer that we have on staff, it would be $212,256 with all the related benefits that would go with that, because it would affect Social Security, workers' comp, and retirement.
And if you were to do the COLA thing for the retirees, how much does that cost?
For the retirees? Okay.
No, was it a COLA, cost of living allowance in general? Yeah,
Okay,
not
all right.
retirees.
That would cost $239,667.
And most of these are not budgeted yet, correct?
The 1.8% is included in the budget.
I'm sorry?
The 1.8%, that last number is included in the budget right now.
Okay, so in other words, as the numbers stand right now, the 239 is included,
Correct.
but the 212 is not.
That's correct.
That's all I
Wait,
have.
can I ask a question then? On this proposed debt service for $2.5 million, what is it annually?
It's about $186,000.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Anderson. And
Just one more quick thing. Some of you, I know in the past, have had more or less interest, I don't mean that in a bad way, we always have 6 or 7 organizations, social service, for lack of a better term, organizations in the city. We do receive the full packet of requests for those information. If any of you want copies of those, Gene has those. And if there's anybody else that you know of that you want us to send an invitation to, please let us know that as well.
that was item number 19. If if the council has no objections, I'd like to combine item 20, 21, both were placed by me. We just need an update on them. So I'll make a motion to combine item 20 and 21 and get the same present to Mr. Godwin or Mr. Anderson, whoever is presenting it. Mr. Anderson? I'll make the motion second. All in favor?
Aye. I can do 20. I may have to hand them all off. Okay. Two pieces of property that council expressed interest in.
Dean, can you talk a little closer in the mic?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, people in the back have issues otherwise.
All right. The two pieces of property that the council requested that we check into selling were the old health department building and the old police department building. I'm working with Judge Superville and Commissioner Rodney Pollard on the old health department building because the county is co-owners of that property with us. They expressed some interest in selling that in an online auction format, which I'd already considered and thinks possibly a good idea. The city traditionally uses Renee Bates Incorporated out of McKinney for our online auctions. And I have contacted them, and they do auction real estate on a regular basis for cities. And they gave me a list of what they would need for each property, from contract to sale, updated survey showing any easements, an aerial map, letter of intent from the title company, property deed, and local contact information. I'm in the process of gathering all of that documentation on those two pieces of property. I've got some of it, but not all of it. And I've also had Lamar County Appraisal District update the appraised value on the old health department building because I thought it was excessive, and we have to set a minimum bid on real estate equal to what the actual market value is. That's the lowest that we can sell property at. And so I got them to update that bid and actually lowered it from what they had it on their appraisal roll for. So I think that will improve our chance of selling it as well. And if you remember, the council recently changed the zoning on the property of the old health department building, which will also, I think, help make that property easier to sell. As far as the old police department building, again, like I say, I'm working on that same information on it that I'm working on the health department that Renee Bates would need. I've also asked the Lamar County Appraisal District to re-evaluate the value on that building, and they're scheduled to do that, but they haven't done it yet. And so when I kind of get that basic information together, I'll go back to Renee Bates, go back to the county and make sure they're okay with that information, and we'll proceed from there.
Thank you, Dean. Anyone have any questions? Thank you very much. And the bathrooms?
On the bathrooms at the fairgrounds, we have made some progress as far as planning and organizing. It became kind of obvious in the last couple of weeks we would not be able to complete those in time to open them before the fair opens, because the fair opens next month. In talking to Rita Jane, I hope I got this correct, we asked her if you want us to go ahead and start digging stuff up, thinking she probably would not want that dug up while the fair was going on. She said, no, wait till the fair is over. So we will not have it done for the fair, but we will start construction shortly thereafter.
Anyone have any questions? No. Item number next is 22. Can I ask just one quick question on this? I see Mr. Keys sitting over here. When is their public hearing for? When is it scheduled for the
24th.
24th. Okay. Thank you. Item number 23 is discuss a new wastewater treatment plant and provide directions to the city staff. Who's presenting? It was my item, I wanted it on the agenda.
Right.
But
now we have, of course, our so far unpaid consultant, if you want to, if you'd like to hear a presentation.
I had placed this item on the agenda partly because I think Mr. Pilata had some serious concerns whether there is really a need for a new wastewater treatment plant or not. And so I was concerned, and I understand what his point of view was, and I partially kind of agree with him and partially don't. But I wanted to see whether we should hire a company or a consultant or somebody to really evaluate the situation and see what is the need of a wastewater treatment plant at present, and how does it financially impact the city. With that understanding, I think there is a gentleman who's here today to present something, and I thought that was very good, so we'll hear what he has to say, and Doug also has something to say on this matter.
Mayor and City Council, let me give you just a background of how we started this whole process. And back in 2009, we actually contracted with Hayter Engineering to perform an engineering feasibility study. And that was to come in and evaluate the infrastructure at the wastewater treatment plant. And that was their evaluation. Their recommendation was based on data, based on flow data, based on discharge strength data in our permits. So this is where this all got started. Now let me go back even further. Again, I want to remind you, this treatment plant was originally constructed during World War II. Now, over the past almost 30 years, we've only gone through renovations in 1987, 1991, and 1997. Okay, bring you to present day. Actually, beginning in September of 2013, we prepared criteria to request qualifications from engineering firms that could potentially come and work on rehabilitation of our existing treatment plant. And that's one point I really want to hit home with each of you. I want to get away from the term new, because that is somewhat of a misnomer. And the reason I don't want to use new is because our ultimate goal is to reuse as much existing infrastructure as possible, because the life cycle, many of those components are way beyond what they were originally intended to be. So if you'll remember back to January of this year when Garver was introduced as our selection for the firm to work on this project, my exact terminology that I used in the briefing sheet was to have them come in and evaluate a complete rehabilitation of a treatment plant. So that wasn't have them come in and just start work immediately. We wanted a firm to come in and evaluate exactly what the needs of the city of Paris are and what they will be in the future, and that will be based upon data on research and evaluation. So anyway, tonight Jeff Sober with Garver Engineering is here. Jeff is going to give you a very brief PowerPoint presentation, and also if you have more, any other detailed technical questions, Reeves Hayter and Mike Tibbetts with Hayter are here as well. So at that point, Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you. And then when Jeff is through, if you have any questions, by all means, please ask.
Jeff, before you start, I'm going to ask a question of Mr. Hayter. Mr. Hayter, you did a study in 2009. Was there another study that you did in the year 2000?
The previous study that we did dealt with the possibility of other landslides back in 2000.
And at that time, in your suggestions, there were some suggestions about putting some package plants in other locations other than where it is currently. Is that correct?
We did look at that possibility, yes, sir.
And was that one of your suggestions or not? No. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Council. My name is Jeff Sober. I'm the Vice President with Garver Engineers. We're a regional engineering firm. I'm out of Frisco, Texas. And I appreciate the opportunity to clarify a little bit about the design process and what we intend or propose to do to assist the City of Paris with determining what the best option for the future of your wastewater treatment plant is. I have 12 slides I'd like to discuss today to help clarify this issue. First, I'll state that we were proudly selected, and our team was selected through an 18-month qualification-based process, which really focused on our history of capital cost reduction for clients just like yourself. The proposal, we were asked to propose on concepts for a new 10 MGD facility. As part of our proposal, we came back and identified that, in fact, we did not believe you needed a facility that size, and that we proposed looking at rehabilitating and maintaining your existing facility with only needed improvements as necessary through a phased process to try to reduce the cost of the facility. It was based on these concepts and ideas that I believe our team was selected because we had the best interest in mind. We proposed a work plan which includes a conceptual design phase. So what you see in front of you on the slide represents the multiple stages of an engineering process. What had been completed to date previously by Hayter Engineering in 2010 was a feasibility planning study identifying and documenting the need for a new wastewater treatment plant. What we propose to do is start with a conceptual design phase, which I want to talk about in more detail. I would also like to add that through the 18th month selection process and over the past year after our selection, we have been working and assisting your staff pro bono on regulatory assistance and funding assistance, which is part of our proposed work plan. Now, it's really during this conceptual design phase that we intend to work alongside you to identify and develop cost-saving alternatives for your facility. And so this is an overview of what a conceptual design phase includes, and I'd like to point out some of the key items here. First is our field investigation. That's where we take discipline-specific engineers, structural, mechanical, instrumentation, electrical, and put them out at the facility to get a third-party assessment of the condition, to update that report that was done in 2010, to identify which part of the facility can be maintained and reused. We also do a rigorous data collection and identify how the facility is meeting its existing effluent permit requirements and project how we intend it's going to meet those into the future. The fourth item on there is the TCEQ variance request. I think this is important to point out. This is unique to our team. that was selected. And what this really identifies is that TCEQ, which is the governing body of this wastewater treatment facility, has a cookbook. If you hire an engineer, they intend to follow this cookbook on how the facility is supposed to be rehabilitated and maintained. We know through our experience that we can request specific variants to these various requirements, and in doing so reduce the cost of the facility. That's something we intend to do during conceptual design as well. Our technical approach is really focused on finding capital cost savings while planning for the long term. What that means is that we intend to simplify operations of the plant. So as we go through this conceptual design and we look at the capital cost expenditures, we're also looking at keeping operating costs in mind. If it's significant cost to operate and maintain this facility, we'll look at technologies and ways we can reduce that O&M cost, and we believe we can. We do intend to reuse existing infrastructure. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And finally, I think this has maybe been left out of previous discussions, and it's very important to note that we're not just talking about rehabilitating the existing infrastructure that is a condition-based need. We're also talking about planning for pending regulatory requirements that we know are on the horizon. You will be hit with a total phosphorus limit and more stringent ammonia limits here in the near term in the next 3 to 5 years, and it's the time to begin planning and implementing the treatment processes necessary to meet those regulations. Our approach was really built on building what's needed when it's needed. So what are we going to do during conceptual design? Well, we intend to identify key project parameters and answer some key questions. I think these are important to answering the question that came up in the previous council meeting. First, we intend to identify which of the facilities can be maintained on the existing plant site, which of the facilities need rehabilitation because of their condition, which facilities have to be replaced, and which TCEQ rules we can request a variance from to save money on the project. When we go through conceptual design, we intend to evaluate alternatives, to give you alternatives to decide what is the future for the wastewater treatment plant. It's important to note that this is a collective process. We intend to work alongside your staff and you, keeping you all up to date along the way. And the decision on where to go will rest in y'all's hands as we propose many alternatives for your consideration. Those alternatives will include maintaining the existing plant within permit limits versus construction or rehab of a new facility. We'll look at treatment at other locations in the city. We're going to look at possibilities for beneficial reuse of the effluent. This is a big discussion over the last 10 years as Texas has been in a drought, and this is a potential revenue stream and water supply item for the city of Paris as well. And finally, I think it's important again to state that requirements for those pending limits will be addressed during conceptual design. We evaluate these alternatives on a life cycle cost basis. So when we propose various alternatives to you, we of course intend to identify what we think the actual capital cost of maintaining, rehabilitating this facility will be. So far, you've just heard planning numbers. The conceptual design will nail down these numbers so you know what this might actually cost the city of Paris. But not only will you get a capital cost estimate, we will also give you life cycle costs. We do believe that it is important to minimize the operations and maintenance budget as much as possible, and our alternatives will look for ways to do that. This graphic represents the myriad of things that go into an O&M budget and those items which we will present in that life cycle cost estimate. We've also proposed and developed a 3-phase approach to reduce the costs even further. We know that, as I stated, you should only build what you needed when it's needed. And before we've even begun the conceptual design, we've identified that there's 3 ways we can phase this project over time. The first phase would be to take care of immediate needs at the facility. These are the critical condition-based items that are causing major headaches and operational costs for the facility. Phase 2 would be implementing improvements at the facility to meet those pending regulatory requirements, which we know are just around the corner. And phase 3, which may not be necessary for a considerable amount of time, would be any expansion. So it's important to note that we're not discussing expanding the facility at all today. Today's needs are regulatory-based and condition-based, and that only if necessary would the facility be expanded in the future. In doing so, that allows you to break up the cost, the total cost that you've been hearing in the planning, over several, maybe 10, 15, 20 years of that capital cost expenditures. This is a big slide, but I think this really does answer the question about what's going on at the existing facility. What you see here is a table. This table represents 14 standard processes in a wastewater treatment plant that you might see in one of those engineers' cookbooks. And this was to point out that we do not intend to design a brand new facility. We intend to use as much of the existing facility as feasible. There are parts of that facility that are 60 years old that do need to be replaced. There are parts of that facility that are 20 years old that can be stretched for another 20 years if necessary. What we intend to do is identify during this conceptual design phase what parts of this facility can be used and not be used. You'll note that under these 14 various processes, we've identified, this is part of our proposal that we've done, as well as reading all the reports that you've paid for to date, what items of the facility are in deficient condition or non-functional, and which parts of the facility are in a currently acceptable state that can be maintained for another 10, 15, 20 years. And we intend to identify this further in conceptual design, and this is where we start to develop the actual cost of fixing this facility. But what you'll see here is that over half of the existing facility will be maintained and operated into the future, and that we're just discussing rehabilitation or regulatory changes to a few components of the facility. There's a few items in here, number 5 and number 8, that we know with our experience why they've required at other facilities, that we will be working with TCEQ to reduce or remove those requirements, again, to reduce the cost of the facility. This is a 3D overview graphic of your existing facility to date. It's important to note that we believe we can do this improvements to this wastewater treatment plant on the existing site, which again is another capital cost savings. And just to reiterate, this next view would be a proposed updated, upgraded, and newer facility on the existing site over that 3-phase process. And again, to reiterate, we believe that the improvements, we would save over half of this facility, and the improvements would include things like providing screening and grit removal, which are not currently in operation at the facility and need to be. Adding new clarifiers, which are going to be a regulatory-based decision into the future and are currently a condition challenge. Reuse the existing chlorine basins. So again, we're reusing a lot of the existing facilities on site, including the chlorine, the dechlorination system. The new aeration basins are going to be required because of condition of the existing ones, as well as the pending nutrient requirements as well. We do intend to reuse other existing contact basins and reuse some of the existing sludge dewatering and storage facilities as well. I hope that this presentation gives you an overview of the conceptual design process that we've proposed and how we intend to, during that process, actually identify and give you an opinion of probable construction costs for the needed improvements at the facility. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a few questions. Our current plant, is it meeting the TCEQ requirements?
Currently, and Doug, I'll ask if you want to come answer some of these questions as well, because he's in responsible charge of the facility. But yes, the facility, through our review, is meeting all of its existing permit requirements, which should be noted is very impressive given the age of the facility that the staff has been able to maintain it to date.
The phosphorus and ammonia change that TCEQ is bringing when is that change coming?
It's anticipated that total phosphorus limits would fall within the next permit cycle. You're on a 5-year permit cycle right now. You're renewing that existing permit. We anticipate that change, based on discussions with TCEQ, would occur in the next permit cycle, so 5 years from now.
Whatever plant you design and or additions to this plant, on a working basis, will there be cost savings in running the plant?
We do believe that today's technology, for example, for the secondary treatment train, which would replace your secondary treatment, which has been in operation for 50 years, would reduce your operations and maintenance budget considerably.
And when you say operations, does it decrease the amount of energy requirements, or does it decrease the manpower requirements?
It's an overall reduction in the budget, looking at all of those items on the list. The biggest one, to answer your question specifically, is an energy cost reduction.
Okay. You said you've done quite a bit of pro bono work. What exactly have you done as far as pro bono work is concerned?
Yes, since being selected a year ago, we've been assisting your staff with discussions with the Texas Water Development Board and applying for funding for the project. We've been looking at regional planning grants as well as SRF loans. We've also been engaged in ongoing discussions with TCEQ, the regulating authority, discussing the future of the facility and the permit requirements that may be necessary.
And how far have you gotten with the financial requirements?
We assisted your staff in submitting funding applications for both SRF and regional planning grants. We got notification 2 months ago that the City of Paris did not qualify for the regional planning grant and that we would not receive any funding for that. The SRF loan, that is a several round process. The City of Paris did not make the first round. They stopped the list at 59 out of, I believe, 218 applicants. City of Paris, I believe, ranked 73 on that list. There will be a second round coming in September, October timeframe, and we hope that maybe the city will qualify for funding at that time.
Okay, if you can
I will add something, and a correction. The city did qualify for the regional planning grant. It's just funding ran out before they got down to the City of Paris.
Can you go back to your second last slide? The one with the, yeah, this one.
Yes, sir.
How did you come up with this list? Did you specifically inspect the plant, or was it based on what you had seen as far as history of what went wrong and what didn't go wrong, or was it based on staff information?
Yes, to all of those. We started with the existing reports that have been done by previous engineers, including Hayter and Black and Veatch. Those reports identified deficiencies within the facility, those two independent reports. So we started with that information.
So that was from, the last report was from 2009?
Yes, sir. It was finalized in 2010, I believe. And then there was the previous study in 93 as well.
So that could have changed in the last 5 years. So some of the things which you are writing as acceptable may not be acceptable at this point?
That could be the case. Again, this is a preliminary look. We intend to do a full field assessment as part of conceptual design. This is also based on some staff interviews that have been conducted in the meantime as well.
And if you were to do this study, or you were to be given this contract to do this, how much help do you take from local engineering firms? Or is it totally your own project?
No, that's a great question. It's actually a team of engineers. We have teamed up our firm Garver, alongside Friesen Nichols, which is another Texas engineering firm, and Hayter Engineering as well. We put this team together because we believe that this team provided everything with the City of Paris's best interest in mind. It's important to have Hayter on the project because they have historical knowledge of the facility, and we need that historical knowledge. It allows us not to reinvent the wheel and to save some money as part of the design process with that.
And locally, where else have you worked?
We currently have ongoing projects right now in Sulphur Springs, Kilgore, Longview. Those are both all three similar wastewater treatment facility type projects, as well as several throughout the Metroplex, including Ferris, Roanoke, City of Dallas.
And my last question to you is that, do package plants or plants which have been designed by you before, if they have already been designed and constructed by you before, why do we need a redesign? Why can't we just use an old plan? I mean, the purpose is to have a 7.2, meg unit. Why does it need redesigning? Why can't we use some of the other cities' plans and just put that plan here, because it's based on the amount, not based on location necessarily?
Building a new facility, we believe, would cost you a significant more capital cost investment than maintaining and rehabilitating your existing facility, which is what we propose to do. So we believe your capital costs are going to be significantly smaller. In fact, we have not designed a brand new greenfield facility in any time in the last 5 years because it is more cost-effective for facilities to continue to rehabilitate their existing facilities. So in that case, every facility is different, and engineering concepts and plans that we would create for the city of Paris at your facility, which is entirely different from any other facility, would not apply elsewhere, and vice versa.
And what is the cost of a plant with 7.2 meg plant? How much does it cost a new facility?
Planning level cost that you might see in planning level documents where there hasn't been a detailed condition assessment of the facility or concepts developed or process modeling. So all of that aside, if you're just talking planning level and you call an engineer up and say, what might this cost us? They will give you a per gallon cost, and that will be anywhere in the range, depending on the characteristics of the wastewater that we're talking about, which can be a variable as well, anywhere from $4 to $10 per gallon. So a new facility would, in your case, would cost anywhere from $30 to $72 million.
Thank you. Mr. Pickle?
Rehabilitation cost, what would it be? Using the same generalizations you just gave.
Mr. Pickle, it's nearly impossible to give you a dollar amount for rehabilitation costs because that's extremely facility specific. The conceptual design phase is created to identify exactly what that cost is and tell you that.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I don't have enough information to give you that cost, but.
Fair enough.
Mr. Frierson?
No questions. Thank you for your time.
Dr. Questions? Mr. Collado?
Just guessing and stuff, you said it was $35 to $70 million for a new one. Would you say the rehabilitation would be 20 million? Just guessing.
I hope to have lots of options for you to consider after conceptual design.
But it's going to be lower than the brand new one, right?
Rehabilitation of your facility will most likely be less than a new facility. As part of that conceptual design process, we will also indicate what we believe the cost of a new facility would be for your consideration so that you can make an informed decision.
Good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jenkins?
I have no questions. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Ms. Lancaster?
No questions, thank you.
I have a couple of more questions.
Yes, sir.
The effluent that comes out, what is it? Is there going to be a plan to save that effluent and use it for something else? If you were to be hired to design this? I mean, we send about, what, 3 million gallons of water a day into Red River?
Roughly 3.5.
Okay. So what, can we save that water?
Yes, reuse of effluent in Texas has gotten a lot of attention lately. There's several ways that you can reuse effluent, whether it be through reclamation to an industrial source, whether it's irrigating your golf courses and parks, or whether it's to direct augmentation of your drinking water supply. Our firm has 2 of the only direct augmentation projects in the nation right now. So we're well suited to investigate that as part of our conceptual design, if that's a desire of the council.
How long have you worked for this company?
I've been with Garver for 3 years.
And prior to that?
I worked for another engineering firm in North Texas for 13 years.
And was that involved in the same water kind of water treatment plant projects?
Yes, sir. In fact, that's all I do. I was previously an operator and then became a process engineer specifically for water and wastewater treatment.
Thank you very much.K you for your time.
Thank you.
Do you want to ask him where he went to school?
Yes. Why, do you have any objections to that?
No, go ahead, ask him.
I'll ask whatever I want to ask.
No.
What you ask him if
Whoa.
No, you missed the point.
I know why he's asking.
We just
Where did you go to school?
I saw that thing.
Okay.
Texas.
Thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you
very good. Your presentation was good.
Thank you for your time, Council.
I have one question for you. Can I have my keyboard back?
Yes, you may, sir.
All right. Item number, 23 we've already done. So item number 24 is convened into executive session pursuant to 551.071 of Texas Government Code, consulting with attorney to receive legal advice from city attorney about pending or contemplated litigation and or matters in which the duty of an attorney to his client under the Texas Disciplinary Rule of Professional Conduct of State Bar of Texas clearly conflict with the chapter as follows. A, Paris Warehouse 107 tax abatement agreement. B, J.L. Baking LLC Skinner tax abatement agreement. And 551.074 of Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, disciplines, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee as follows: annual evaluation of city manager, annual evaluation of municipal judge, and annual evaluation of city attorney. The time now is 7:24, and we go into executive session. Thank you.